Obviously a toxic message, this thing I've seen people saying of, oh, you can never trust a man, never trust your husband, he may just cheat on you. The man and the woman have to be trusting each other. Forgiveness is a big thing. If you have ever had a trust issue come up, you got to learn how to forgive and work through that. Otherwise, that'll just turn into crippling insecurity that you suffer with.
Depends what the trust issue was. If the person is like texting other people.
Yeah, well, there's different like degrees of severity for sure. But yeah, I think a lot of issues. After that, I had this overwhelming sensation. It was like, you know, you would say it's like a voice in your head, but I had this overwhelming sense that I was going to marry you and that you were like the answer to my prayers in so many ways. And you're literally like, I feel like I manifested you. And I was sitting thinking, oh my God, I feel like I manifested you.
5-10 minutes of my life texting somebody that I don't give a fuck about, jeopardizing everything that I have. Like it's just ridiculous. So yeah, I deserve the hate, and there's not a single person on this fucking planet that is more disappointed or upset. So I don't expect you guys to understand, but I hope you take into consideration that you can make a mistake and get better. And this isn't just a mistake, right? Like, this is breaking trust, but I realized what I did was wrong, and it's never gonna happen again. Doesn't mean it's okay, but.
I was mentally abused by this man. He made me feel so loved, so seen, so heard, so understood. He took my trauma that I didn't want to open up about, and he made it feel like I'm safe. And I believed him, because at the end of the day, like, he was just such a nice person. I'm hearing it from all of his friends, from all of my girlfriends that know him personally. So we met, we started dating. He cheated on me with the first girl. I'm going to show you the screenshots. This is the first screenshot. He wrote me a love letter. He wrote me a book. He wrote me a song. He came to my house with thousands of flowers every time he messed up, and he just swooned me back in. And I was like, wow, like, he's putting this much effort into me, like a month into knowing him. He fed me nothing but lies. His words never correlated with his actions, so I was sacrificing my boundaries to attune to his freaking words, because his freaking actions were like below average. I took him back like 7 times. He cheated on me. I took him back. I ended up getting pregnant by him. I had my miscarriage. I was alone. He was doing his own thing. He wouldn't comfort me. And we went to therapy. He found a therapist that specialized in BPD. He told me that I had BPD, and she looked at me. She's like, girl, you do not have BPD. You're too self-aware. You're too empathetic. So I lost my baby, and he was cheating on me again.
Hello my loves, and welcome back to a new video. So today we're going to be talking about why weak, sort of toxic men cheat on very beautiful, powerful and successful women, also spiritual women. So this is following the recent scandal of the Wizard Liz and Landon, her husband, who betrayed her. So for those of you who don't know, the Wizard Liz is a very successful YouTuber. She makes content helping empower women and that sort of thing. So it came out only a few days after they made a Q&A video together on her channel. So bear in mind, she has like 1 million subscribers, so a very, very big YouTube channel. So basically he was caught trying to meet up with another woman on a Snapchat account that he opened only a few days after that, after saying that, you know, people need to trust men and blah, 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 basically pretending to be some like, oh, loyal, loving husband. So I don't really watch a huge amount of their content. You know, I didn't even know who Landon was, but I did notice as soon as she got with him, her energy, her spark started to dim. And this is exactly the type of thing that I spoke about on my video on how men siphon your energy. How energy vampiric men who are kind of parasitic target strong, powerful women, or women with a lot of light, a very strong aura, to take for themselves. Another important thing to point out before I get into the signs is a lot of women like Liz, they unfortunately are attracted to these types of more nice guy, feminine, covert men who are secretly dangerous, because she's been through domestic violence in her past. So I've also gone through this, and I was also targeted by a covert narcissist who fooled me into thinking that he's safe because he was more feminine, a nice guy. And before I even knew what a covert narcissist was. So this is a very common occurrence with women who've gone through domestic violence or had that basically as a child or in a relationship. It's so common for women to unfortunately jump into another relationship with a covert narcissist, nice guy, after that sort of more overt domestically violent relationship. When you meet a more feminine, soft guy, you instantly subconsciously think, oh, they're going to be safe. But the sad reality is they're actually far more dangerous and can cause way more trauma through severe emotional abuse, causing cognitive dissonance, confusion, because they really are that little snake. They are that wolf in sheep's clothing. And this is why a man like Landon was able to manipulate Liz, because he gave her that false sense of safety. But like Liz admitted herself, you'll still get those gut feelings. So you'll really feel something's off. So the number one reason why these types of men cheat on very powerful, strong women is because they're very deeply insecure, but they mask it. So their ego will hide this. So obviously this is like the most obvious reason, but these types of men, especially the nice guy men, they're more sneaky and they're able to manipulate you better than like a typical overt narcissist will. So these types of men will be extremely triggered by any woman who they deem is doing better than them. So any woman who is more attractive, who makes more money, who just has a stronger presence, a stronger power, even just a stronger light. So anything like that will deeply, deeply trigger them, but especially if you're earning more than them. So this is probably the number one thing that men care about who are in their toxic masculine. They'll be obsessed with money, but they'll also be obsessed with power and influence and that sort of thing as well, especially with men like Landon or any man who's wanted to be an influencer or YouTuber. They'll be very, very jealous of anyone, especially their partner, who's doing better than them, who has like more of a loyal following, a stronger presence, a stronger like power essentially. So especially with a man who is also less attractive or who feels like emasculated in that way, this is why they will secretly hate you. They'll be very, very jealous of you. So these types of men are very dangerous because you're literally sleeping with the enemy. You'll think that they love you, but you'll see these flashes of resentment. You could literally see this in their Q&A video, like now and then you'll see this facial expression of like resentment that he would show. You would see these flashes like through his body language and through micro expressions. So if you know what to look out for, you'll definitely see this with that. But the number one sign that a man will be very deeply insecure is they'll devalue you as well. So this always follows love bombing. So like Liz had, she had months of love bombing, even past the 3 months, which does happen. So, but there will be instances where they'll try to devalue you in certain ways. And you can see this with their body language. So even though Liz is like far more attractive than him, you could see that her energy was like, she was giving so much energy to him because she was the one who was looking at him the most. You could see she was smiling, she was looking at him so much, where his body language was, he was leaned forward. But the main red flag I noticed is he wasn't making eye contact much at all with her. You could see that he was like this weird block between them. He was like looking around, he was looking at the camera. He wasn't really like looking at her much. And the times he did look at her, he would either smirk or it'd feel a bit fake, or he would even just have this like look of content, like this look of like resentment almost. So because they have this secret hatred, this jealousy, because you have all that light, you have all that power, and they don't. So they want to bring you down to their level. They truly hate it, where a divine masculine man will adore that in a woman. So this is what I mean, like, because I don't believe all men cheat. Like I said in my, divine masculine video, go watch that to see the positive signs of good men. So this is the real big issue why you cannot go with any deeply insecure man, because he will destroy you. This is why we've seen so many like beautiful, celebrity women. All the time they get cheated on. Pretty much every single like stunning celebrity has been cheated on, and that's all you need to know. So it's like, even though they're so talented, so creative, so beautiful, they get cheated on, usually by men who are like, look like rats. It's like, it's unfortunately, such a common occurrence. But even men who are attractive themselves, if they're insecure in their minds, they'll still do this. So it's not just like physically unattractive men, because it can also be to do with money. So even if you're with an attractive man, he could still be insecure about his money or career or whatever. Even his own confidence, like they could be insecure about many, many things. It's not just about looks. So number 2 is energy siphoning. So basically energy vampirism. So this is basically what I covered in my previous video of how men harvest and drain your beauty, money, success, that sort of thing. So with women who are, successful, powerful, strong, beautiful, or just have a very like pure heart, a high frequency, you unfortunately are targets to parasitic men. So you are the main supply for them to boost their ego and for them to feed off you. So like I was saying before, instead of these types of men celebrating you, loving you, being grateful that they've got such a beautiful woman and having that healthy exchange of love, reciprocating that energy, they will drain the life out of you instead. So, and this was the first thing that I noticed with Liz and Landon. So I knew something was off when she started to change her hair. So the first red flag is when she basically, I think she cut her fringe and it looked, obviously really bad. And then she dyed it blonde, and then it like got fried and it all started to like fall out. So then she had to cut her hair. Then eventually she went back to having it black, where before she had very long, healthy, black, shiny hair. That was one of the first red flags, because they do this. And I think in another video, she also had like pimple patches. So like I said in my other video, like you'll start to see physical signs when a man is draining your vitality. But what's even more worrying is that energy will start to go to the other person. And Liz even said this herself, like when she was in the hairdresser literally said, oh, your husband is really attractive. This is what happens. It's like a glamour spell. So even someone who's not that physically attractive, when they get with someone who is really attractive or very healthy or just has a lot of vitality, is like that energy will go to them. It's almost like a weird form of destiny swapping, really. So, women don't just destiny swap with other women, men do as well. And this is not really spoken of much, like men destiny swap the fuck out of women. It happens all the time. So this is what I mean, but they do it by stealing your energy. And you could tell that, Landon wanted to be like Liz. He wanted to do like, similar content that she was doing, like self-help content and that sort of thing, and talking about God and spirituality. And, this is why you can't trust those fake spiritual fuckboys either, like I said in my other video. But this is the real sinister truth of like why these type of men who are not connected to source, not connected to spirit, they're very deeply insecure. They don't have that connection to that light, so they steal yours. If you have an impulse to suddenly change your appearance or anything like that, as soon as you've got with a man, don't fucking do it. There's a very dark reason why you're doing that, because this is them stealing your identity as well. They're trying to break your identity. They're trying to break you, to shake up your foundation. So number 3 is resentment of her power. So this is basically kind of like what I've already covered, but these types of men, like I said, have a very, very fragile ego. So they'll be so jealous whenever they're with like a powerful spiritual woman or a powerful career-driven woman. But with a man who has this kind of narcissism, this very low insecurity, this very low, self-worth, he will see your power as a threat. He will see your success and lights as something to be massively jealous of, because again, they don't have it themselves. So they punish you. They literally punish you for being a light or strong or empowered. So it's kind of like what I said in my other video, like narcissistic men are like the modern day witch hunters. It's because they'll have this very incel mindset, or at times they'll actually be DL, so they'll be secretly gay or emotionally gay. So they'll have basically some sort of mother wound or a very misogynistic mindset, where they don't like to see women in power. They don't like to see women leading or being empowered and helping other women empower themselves, or whatever the case. So they hate it. They want you to be a very submissive, you know, trad wife, or basically to make their little fragile egos feel strong and big. So they can't handle it. They can't handle a strong, powerful woman. And they certainly can't handle a woman with good intuition. Because again, a woman with good intuition, with high standards and strong boundaries, she will call you out on your bullshit. She won't tolerate any of that. And this is why they secretly resent you. They fucking hate your power, because they want a woman who they can push around. They want a woman who put up with their bullshit, essentially. They want a pick-me girl. You know, and this is why you can't be a pick-me girl, because they will literally completely obliterate you. They'll completely destroy you. Because, you know, the greatest thing that Liz done is, as soon as she found out that he was cheating on her, she was like, no. Like, she could have, like, if she was a woman who was like more in that kind of weaker mindset, she probably would have kept all of this hidden and then just secretly forgiven him and then let him continue to, you know, betray her and be shady. But she instantly called him out publicly. Said she's donating a ring, which I think cost £100,000, so a very expensive ring that he gave her. And she's donating it to, like, I think a women's shelter. So she instantly stuck to her word. You know, she stuck to what she preaches, which is very admirable. Because she always preaches about, you know, if someone betrays you, if someone shows you red flags, that's it. They're fucking gone. And I completely agree with that. Because trust me, don't ever forgive a man who betrays you, who you feel secretly doesn't love you, who secretly hates you, who has any sort of like resentment towards you, or a deeply insecure man, because trust me, he'll fucking do it again. I went through this, I made this mistake, and it fucking almost destroyed me. So never, ever, ever give second chances to men who cheat on you, who try to cheat on you, because that's what's even more embarrassing for him, is he tries to cheat on her and he failed. So that just kind of adds salt to his wounds. So, you know, good on the other woman, because it was actually the other woman who told Liz, you know, this is what your man is doing. This is why women need to support each other, by the way. We need to hold men accountable. You have to actually be with a man who genuinely likes women, and not just to, you know, sexually please him or to boost their ego to impress other men. So number 4 is fear of depth and preemptive sabotage. So basically, this is why Landon and other narcissists will move relationships fucking quick, very rapidly. So like we saw in their Q&A video, one of the biggest red flags that stood out to me is obviously how quick everything moved in their relationship. But one of the biggest things that indicated that he was responsible for this is he literally said only after 36 hours, he said to Liz that he knew he was going to marry her. So again, heavy love bombing, heavily, you know, romanticizing her. So this is why you have to be so careful with any form of love bombing, because narcissists always do this. So, and trust me, I've been through this myself twice. So with an overt and covert narcissist. So this is what I mean, like, especially when they weaponize spiritual lingo, which he did. You know, they magically, serendipitously met at the airport, which many people doubt. They actually think he stalked her, which wouldn't surprise me. So this is why you must use your discernment all the time, which can be hard because, you know, anyone can be fooled by this. This is why you can't hate on people like Liz and this sort of thing, because the most intelligent spiritual people can still be manipulated. You can still be tricked at certain times. You must learn your best to use your own discernment. You know, this was the hardest lesson I had to go through, and I had to learn, you know, for years when I again was in my late 20s. And this is what led me to awaken my dark feminine energy, true dark feminine energy, to truly embody that. That was the thing, the key that truly set me free. Men who are covert narcissists, men who are in their toxic feminine energy, deeply insecure, they want to switch the power dynamic. So when they first meet you, they'll put you on the pedestal. So this is what they'll do. So they'll love bomb you, and then they start to do things to literally devalue you. And then this is when they are now on top and you're the one down here. And this is why he done this. This is why he went out to try to cheat, you know, with another woman when she's very vulnerable, so he could be the one on top, so he can regain that sense of power. So this is what I mean about preemptive sabotage as well. So the point is they move very quickly, but they know that intuitive women, especially like Liz and any spiritual woman, they'll start to see the cracks. They'll start to see the red flag. And again, this happened in my own previous relationship. I tried to leave the relationship only a year in because I could see very big red flags. His mask fell off, and it's like, look, I don't want to be in this relationship anymore. But then what they do is they reel you back in. And this is exactly what Landon is now trying to do to her. The reason they only do these mind games is because they fear you seeing their true deep self. So this is what I mean by fear of depth, is they are scared that you're going to see the true them. They're scared that you're going to see their true monstrous self, their true fragile little pathetic selves, their true intentions, really. So they know eventually you're going to see that they're a fucking monster. You know in time that, you know, they'll be exposed, because every narcissist's biggest fear is exposure. Always. And not just public exposure, but more like exposure within relationships as well. They will resent you so much when you start to see through the cracks. So they fear being seen. Narcissists have this very deep fear of being seen for who they truly are, because they will not be accountable and do the real work, face their true shadow to actually fucking heal, to actually be a good person, to really connect and open their hearts to source, because they're so deep in their shadow. They're so disconnected. So they have to play these constant mind games and hurt these people and siphon and harvest their energy to basically try to keep this false sense of self, to try to boost their ego all the fucking time. So this is the very toxic cycle that they do, and why they'll hop from person to person to person and destroy you. You know, and this is the biggest reason why they'll cheat on you, because that is the ultimate form of betrayal. That is the ultimate form of like disloyalty. That is the worst thing that can happen to a woman, is to be cheated on by a man that she loves, to be cheated on by a man who she fucking trusted. That is the biggest form of pain you can invoke within a woman, because that is the thing that breaks her fucking heart. You know, but unfortunately the worst thing that has happened is he's baby trapped her. So again, narcissists are notorious for baby trapping. But mainly narcissists of money, because broke narcissists won't really want to baby trap you. Why? Because they don't want to be responsible and pay their money for a baby. They don't want to pay child support because they're too fucking selfish. They would rather spend it on themselves. And I've had many female clients tell me how, you know, their narcissistic exes switched as soon as they moved in together, or got married, or had a baby together, or when she got pregnant. So narcissists usually will switch. You see their true dark self after a big move like that. So, you know, narcissists will either financially trap you, baby trap you, or they trauma bond you. You know, a lot of narcissists would rather destroy the relationship, destroy your sense of safety completely, than ever face their own shadow and be accountable for it. So number 5 is a more spiritual, esoteric reason. And that is basically because of spiritual warfare. So a lot of narcissistic men are like literal agents of darkness, as funny as that sounds, but it is literally so true. And people who have, you know, only genuine people who have actually been through, I mean, real narcissistic abuse will understand this. So a reason why these types of men cheat usually on the more powerful, beautiful, even spiritual women is because they're trying to collectively harm humanity on a very, very deep esoteric level. Because, and we've already seen this with Landon and Liz, because Liz, you know, she was a prime target for this because she's such a well-known, outspoken, powerful woman who is very direct. You know, she has a very strong aura. She is obviously helped a lot of women. She has millions of mainly women who follow her. This is the type of thing that puts a target on your back. So narcissistic men will literally be sent to you by very dark energies. So it's kind of like that old saying of like, you know, when the devil can't reach you, he'll send in a man. And this is literally what happened to me as well. And they always come in the form of a nice guy. Because again, that is the best way that the devil can disguise himself. So like I was saying before, they literally are wolves in sheep's clothing. You know, they come in all kind of sweet and innocent. They pretend they're so kind, so sweet. Because that's the best disguise they can have. That literally is the best, most effective disguise to fucking break you. You know, especially women, like I said, who have gone through domestic violence or dealt with, you know, violent fathers. You know, like Liz did, you know, she went through a horrendously dark childhood where she was literally beaten by her dad. And I think witnessed her mum going through the same thing. So it's like, you know, they always target people like this because these are the type of people who do turn into warriors, you know, especially women who have gone through this shit. If you heal that, you become such a powerful force of nature because you've gone through literal hell and then you come out the other side. You've transmuted all that pain into power. You are really, really powerful, but at the same time, that does put a target on you. So this is what I mean. It's like when you especially avoid certain downfalls, when you get out of that pit of hell and you're not drinking, you're not sleeping around, you're not being promiscuous, you're not like actively self-destructing anymore, they will send in a covert narcissist because your frequency goes so high. It's like, right, like I was saying before, they know, how can we seduce this person? How can we take this person down? Like, this matrix we live in is literally like a game of chess. It really, truly fucking is. It literally is a game of chess in a sense of like, they'll send in certain little pawns, certain little things to trick you, to trip you up, to take you down. And this isn't to make people paranoid, but unfortunately it just is the fucking case. Like, trust me, I've been through it. So many of my clients have been through it. Like, you know, we do live in spiritual warfare, and this is what I hate most about the new age and spirituality. Like I said in my previous video, they don't warn people enough about this. They don't warn you. You literally will face fucking demons in bodies. You will face demons in the body of a man or woman or whatever, and they'll be sent to you. So it's so, so important that you have discernment and you're able to break away and see the signs, because if you don't, they can take you down and they can literally feed off you and sabotage your entire life. You know, narcissistic men, they want to take down powerful women, so you don't help other women find their power. So you don't help other women find their lights, heal their hearts, you know, because the biggest way that demons fuck you up, that negative energies fuck you up, is to break your heart. And this isn't me saying that, oh, Landon's a demon, but a lot of narcissistic people, without realizing, are subconsciously connected to almost like this demonic hive mind, because they're not connected to their hearts. So anyone who is not connected to their heart chakras, who's not connected to God, even if they say they are, if they're operating from a place of a wounded ego and abusing people and this sort of thing, they are literally enabling this darkness to thrive on earth. They literally are enabling it. So, but this is what I mean. It's like it basically feeds this division. It feeds this war between men and women. Because now, because Landon so publicly sabotaged and betrayed someone like Liz, who many women put on a pedestal, who looked up to and aspires to be like, it's made them lose hope in all men. It's literally made them so disheartened and be like, oh, really? And now they're thinking every single man is going to betray me. Every single man is going to hurt me. And it's fucked up a lot of good men, because now good men, you know, it's also affecting them. Because good men, who's not many, but the genuine ones who don't go cheating on their women, who really do love and like women, who devote their energy to them, who protect them, they also get affected by this, because now it makes them look bad. I've seen loads of videos like this of like now men hating on Landon, because it's like, really? Now you've done this and women are going to hate us even more? Like I said in my other video, so many, you know, good men I feel sorry for, because other men, toxic men, make you look terrible. They make you look so bad. So it causes this division between men and women even further, because a divine feminine and the divine masculine, when you are united, that is what will save the world more than anything. And this literally is shown in Matrix films. You know, go watch that. It's like when you are like Neo and Trinity, when you become together in your power through genuine love, that is what will save humanity. That is what cannot be conquered by any form of darkness. This is why they attack relationships so heavily. This is why porn is free. This is why we have an epidemic of incel men. This is why we have even, you know, neo-toxic feminists or succubus women who further make things worse. So it's like this literal war between men and women. So this is what I mean, that this is all connected to spiritual warfare. It's all to take down the divine feminine. So when you are a very strong, powerful woman, you unfortunately will have a target on your back, like I was saying, especially if you're in the public eye. Unfortunately, you have to be even more on guard. So you have to be so careful, because these beings will do their best to manipulate you and take you down, to block you from helping other women, to block you from even, you know, helping men as well. And this is why it's so important that spiritual women are connected to their dark feminine energy, truly connected to it. So you know how to embody this. So you know how to truly see the signs and not fall for this type of manipulation. So I do have an ebook that basically explains how to do this, how to cut ties from toxic exes. So basically a cord cutting ritual, a womb cleansing ritual. So to spiritually cleanse your womb from all your exes. Because like I've said in other videos, when you have a sexual exchange, especially if they cheated on you, because you'll also have that woman's energy inside you, you need to cleanse your fucking womb. Otherwise it will be so hard to get them out of your aura, to get them out of your mind, and to cut that cord once and for all. And it's a third ritual within it to fully activate and connect to dark goddess energy. And this isn't about being a boss bitch or whatever. This is true, powerful spiritual energy of how to genuinely connect to that feminine energy, so you don't get tricked. So you have that discernment, and so you can finally disconnect from very dark, problematic exes that would have tried their best to trauma bond and trick you. You know, this was the information that truly freed myself. I was in a severely bad trauma bond with a very covert narcissist who was a spiritual fuckboy who completely siphoned my beauty, my finances, my energy, my health. This was what healed me. This was the only thing that literally stopped me from unaliving myself. Like, it is that fucking powerful. And this is why I'm so passionate about it, because I know what it's like to be broken, to be screaming and crying on the floor, begging God to heal you, begging God and questioning why you're going through so much fucking pain. To be completely brokenhearted by someone you thought you could trust, by someone you thought loved you when they didn't. So this is what inspired, this is what made me channel all this information into this book. It also has a lot of information about the witch wound, how it's connected to modern day relationships, also the power of your menstrual blood. So much information packed into it. Basically all the signs that you're not connected to your dark feminine energy, all the signs that you need to know to basically step into your power, to enforce boundaries so you don't get fooled by these nice little covert narcissistic men, you know, boys. So you need to learn how to always basically have your boundaries more strong than your empathy. So this isn't about shutting down your heart, because that blocks your true feminine energy. You need to be open to receiving, but with fucking boundaries. So I'll leave it there, my loves. If you need more one-to-one help, I do offer an oracle card reading service where I can further help you, especially if you're dealing with any form of like relationship issues. This is what I specialize in. I have absolute years of experience. I am a certified spiritual life coach as well. So if you need to book in, the link is down below as always. I also do offer a new cord cutting ritual. So if you're not able to do one yourself, I'm able to do it for you. So if you're really struggling with a trauma bond, you can't get a toxic ex out of your mind, if they're haunting your dreams and that sort of thing, I'll link that down below if you need it. Or you can purchase the Dark Feminine Activation Guides to see the ritual, a video demo, if you want to do it yourself, which will also work very powerfully. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to click the notification bell. I'm sending you so much love, so much light. I'm sending Liz so much healing. I hope she can get through this as well. I'm sending you so much love, so much light. Stay strong, stay fierce. Ahimsa.